Hi folks, I'm Chris with a C.
And I'm Chris with a K.
We are the distinguished and handsome British gents who host the Champion Cinema podcast.
You know what they say about us Brits? Bad teeth, awful food, but a rich history of exceptional film criticism.
Carrying on that tradition, you will find us on Champion Cinema discussing cinematic milestones such as The Long Good Friday,
American Psycho,
A Better Tomorrow,
Death Wish 3,
Halloween Resurrection,
Exorcist 2, The Heretic,
Turkish Superman,
Star Wars, among many other things.
Not only do we discuss and analyse films, we'll also tell you about the various pieces of tie-in merchandise you may not know about, such as newly commissioned artwork,
action figures,
video games,
soundtrack releases,
commemorative plates,
scented candles,
socks,
and the most noteworthy physical media releases.
Champion Cinema with Chris with a C
and Chris with a K.
Find us on all reputable podcast platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spreaker. You can also find us on YouTube.
Just search for Champion Cinema and we'll talk, read at you soon.
Until then, I'll see you down the pit.
And I'll see you on the heap.
Champion Cinema.
Well, hey, it's Jules' birthday weekend.
Hey, I'm a birthday boy.
He's leaving town.
Yeah, I'm getting the hell out of here.
When are you leaving?
Saturday night.
Oh, he's leaving tomorrow night.
Yeah.
But he said, Jason, if you really want to celebrate with me, I can hang out with you Friday.
Yep.
So we watched Rapid Fire and drank beer.
Yeah.
Fancy beer. Blueberry beer.
Mm-hmm.
Raspberry beer.
It's tart.
What else? Cherry beer.
You had a cherry beer.
Manly beer.
I had a cheese pizza. It's pretty good.
Well, here we are, Rapid Fire night. I'm Jason.
And I have a mustache. And
we
doing filmographies.
We got like the
You just opened up 2 beers at once?
Yeah.
You are a madman.
Well, I don't know why I did that. I might have got mixed up thinking one of them was a sparkling water.
Oh, maybe. Too late now.
Tonight we're doing Rapid Fire.
Rapid Fire would have been 7, but now that we have O'Hara, it'll be 8.
Jake Lowe, Brandon Lee, I'm going to guess, has to take down evil gang lord Kinmin Tao Zima to get revenge after he is wronged for some reason, possibly at the behest of Agent Stewart, Raymond J. Barry. Powers Booth plays Mace Ryan, really? Who may or may not be a bad guy? One thing's for sure, this is a 90s action movie featuring an Asian cast, so you know L. Long is in this shit. Oh, and Jules wrote this before we watched the movie, for reasons we'll explain just by looking at the cast list.
Yeah.
Did I do it? I did good?
Yeah, so I wrote this before we watched it.
You did.
Because I figure by the time we get done watching it, I won't have time to write one.
No, I was just going to go off the Google synopses. What do you got for me? You got any facts? You got anything?
Oh, no.
No.
We just finished watching it. You got to give a guy a break.
Yeah, that's fair.
You gotta relinquish my responsibilities. So I'll tell you this. It had an estimated budget of $10 million.
Okay.
Worldwide gross, $14.3 million.
That includes America? That's everything?
It just says U.S. and Canada. It probably doesn't take in, I mean, it's just the gross. It probably made quite a bit more once it hit, tape.
VHS, yeah.
Yeah, it probably set, Europe and Asia on fire.
I don't feel like this movie did well. I don't think this did anything for anybody.
No, I was like, going into it, I was extremely pumped.
Yeah, you got me too. I was excited also.
I watched The Crow, and then going into this, I was thinking, yeah, this one's going to be incredible.
I'm going to say that Laser Mission still remains Brandon Lee's best performance.
Such a bitch.
Yeah, this is a much better movie, but yeah, he's not really in it much. The character, he's in it a good deal, but his personality, it's like they didn't tap into that for some reason. He's super bland.
Great. Keep the picture.
And I don't know, his jokes are dumb.
Who knows? Maybe you'll think I'm sexier with my clothes on.
Don't bet on it.
It's kind of a flat movie all around. It seems like it's going to be way more kick-ass than it is.
Yeah.
It has its moments.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't really pop a lot.
It doesn't. There's some of the action is fine. There's not a lot of good shooting. And there's some, martial arts. Nothing really too big going on.
I mean, it doesn't seem like he's really, beating the fuck out of people.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like most of the time he's just trying to stop them from hurting him. And I would rather see you, breaking bones and fucking people up real good.
So here's a bit of trivia for you.
All right, I'm ready.
Brandon Lee originally wanted Hong Kong director John Woo to direct this film. However, the studio wanted a martial arts film rather than the type of films that Woo made.
What the fuck does that mean?
Less shooty bang bang.
The director role then instead went to Dwight H. Little. who's done some things. Nothing super great, but like a number of movies you've heard of. And so then I assume what happened is he must have then went on to do Hard Target.
The Woo Dog?
The Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, yeah.
When was Hard Target?
Good question. Man, you are full of good questions tonight.
92 is Rapid Fire.
Yes. Hard Target is... Oh, they made a sequel in 2016. 93.
To Hard Target?
Mhm.
Is Van Damme in it?
Yeah. So when he has a long, greasy hair.
Yeah, he has that in the first one.
Because he's kind of in...
The Bayou.
Yeah, he's French, though. He's super French. He's not Creole. That movie is... He bites a snake.
Is it dead?
Not hardly.
At one point in the movie.
You
Because
see a snake, you bite it.
it tries to bite the lady that he's with.
Yeah. Why would you bite the snake?
I don't know, man. I mean, you got to do something, I guess.
I'm leaving a surprise for my friends.
The tagline was unarmed and extremely dangerous.
I don't know that he's extremely dangerous.
No.
If you corner him, he'll fight you.
Yeah.
But he's not like killing a room full of people.
No, and he really looks sad when he kills people.
Yeah, he looked really upset. What was that? Is it when he stabbed that guy with the knife?
It was a fork, a grilling fork of some sort. Dwight H. Little did Marked for Death
Oh, Steven Seagal.
in 90. Yeah.
Isn't that the boring one with the Jamaicans?
hmm
Yeah, that one's not very good.
Early in production, the film was titled Moving Target, which I think is better than Rapid Fire.
Rapid Fire sounds cool, but it
Oh,
makes
it's-
no sense.
It sounds fantastic, but Moving Target is kind of
It fits the movie.
sort of more what he's
He's
doing.
the moving target.
He is. Target's on his back. Apparently, Brandon Lee was attached to the project prior to Showdown in Little Tokyo. Oh, no way. Kim Basinger, Jennifer Basinger?
Jennifer Basinger?
Kim Basinger.
Yes.
Jennifer Beals, Lorraine Bracco, Kate Capshaw, Jamie Lee Curtis, Jodie Foster, Melanie Griffith, Mariel Hemingway, Madonna, Michelle Pfeiffer, Sharon Stone, Madeline Stowe, Uma Thurman, Marissa Tomei, and Sean Young were all considered for the role of Carla Withers.
And who the fuck is the lady that even got the role?
Kate Hodge. She was in an episode of Fringe, so...
Why would you not hire them?
I don't know.
Did they run out of money?
Well, yeah, because it's like Madonna, Kim Basinger, Uma Thurman. Like, she hasn't... I don't even think she was mentioned on Seinfeld yet.
No, she's very young at this point.
Yeah, like, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, Marissa Tomei, this is like everybody that was a lady in Hollywood at the time. For Carla Withers?
I'd like to see them.
I mean, maybe that's just it. They were all considered.
And they were like, no.
Some guy thought about it, but he was like, oh, there's no way we're going to get any of them. Let's get, I'm sorry, what's your name, miss?
Kate Hodge.
I liked her, though. 34 people were killed in this movie.
On set, there was a lot of accidents.
Yeah.
Isn't that train? Nobody knew about the third rail?
Oh, my God. It doesn't stop. Alec Baldwin, Jeff Bridges, James Caan, Kevin Costner, Robert De Niro, Michael Douglas, Harrison Ford, Richard Gere, Jeff Goldblum, Mark Harmon, Don Johnson, Michael Keaton, Harvey Keitel, Val Kilmer, Christopher Lambert, Matthew Modine, Michael Nouri, Al Pacino, Alan Rickman, Kurt Russell, John Saxon, and Tom Selleck were all considered for the role of Mace Ryan.
Powers Booth.
Yeah. Like, what the hell are we... How long was this movie in production? And at what point were they like, let's get an old man? No, let's get a really young guy. Al Pacino at the time. Let's get a...
This movie isn't good enough for any of those people you listed.
And you went through all of these people and landed on Powers Booth.
Yeah. I mean, it has to be a budget thing.
This just has to be full of shit. There's absolutely no way.
Should we ask Pacino?
We should.
And Kim Basinger.
God.
Basinger? Kim Basinger, can you tell us if you were up for a rapid fire?
When Jake is sketching in the holding room, it's just... I didn't mention this. The drawing of the bad guy. The first time they show it, it's just like minimal. And then 20 seconds later, when they show it again, it's a completed sketch.
Yeah.
That happens twice, apparently.
He's real good.
Yeah.
Well, the other time he wasn't drawing any longer. And it went
Yes.
from sketch to really, really in-depth picture of a dragon behind a hot naked.
Okay. The rest of these are just... all of these that I've said, and including the other ones, are hot trash.
Almost directed by Martin Scorsese, Steven Spielberg,
Yep.
David Lynch.
So this movie is weird. It starts off with what turns out to be the ultimate bad guy meeting with the originally assumed to be ultimate bad guy. Some Costa Lanosta? What are they?
La Cosa Nostra?
Yeah, that. Not the cost of nostril. That's what I said. In Thailand, because that guy
Serrano's
the mob guy. The other guy, he sells the heroin to Serrano. But apparently in doing so, Serrano has in return made him a really big drug kingpin. And Serrano's like,
I didn't come 10,000 fucking miles to watch these guys whack each other with big toothpicks.
I want to get a cut of whatever you're doing. And the guy's like,
I supply you with heroin. You distribute it. It's good business for everyone.
Better for you. I want a piece of your end.
I like you, Mr. Serrano. Don't push it.
I'm going to show you something. He grabs a big stick, and he goes and he stick fights 2 guys.
Fucks him up.
Big time. Surrounded by an army.
Yep.
It's really weird. It's like, how many times a day do they have this fight?
Yeah, right?
You know?
They're just out there training, or it's their fun?
Yeah, because those guys are smart enough, I guess, to brand themselves. One's red, one's blue. But what are the stakes here?
Yeah.
You know? And he whoops
practice.
on them. He whoops their butt to show the Serrano guy that he means business. And Serrano spits on his deck.
It's the weakest spit, too, though. He just almost lets it kind of drip out of his mouth.
Yeah, it's super dry.
It's like
ooze, you know. And then he looks at him.
What
the hell did he just say? It's a Sicilian proverb. It means don't ask for what you can't take.
And you had mentioned this. It's like, dude, you're in his country. You only have one guy with you, Tony Longo.
Just surrounded by the army and a bunch of ninjas.
Yeah. You had to take their boat up a river that's probably full of piranha.
Why are you trying so hard to disappear?
Yeah. I mean, there's probably like those little monkeys that run around and steal stuff.
Spit herpes in your eyes.
Mm-hmm. But I guess he makes it out of there unscathed and goes back to America. Moments later, we see Jake Lowe, Brandon Lee's character.
I don't like this wild berry.
Too tart?
No. There's like a dark flavor in there.
Oh. What's the alcohol in there?
It's 16 ounces. Is that what your question is?
How much alcohol is in there? This is a 4.8.
Oh, it's vegan.
Of course.
Huh. I'm not seeing the numbers. A wildly delicious mix of berries that make this an irresistible sour.
Jesus.
Bright raspberry, earthy black currants. That's
the
rich acai berries. Okay.
Whew, this is pretty raspberry.
I'm really not seeing the alcohol content.
Well, so we meet Jake Lowe.
No, I need to know.
In California somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
He rolls up on his motorbike, and there's a protest going on. Protesting
the Tiananmen Square massacre.
The Chinese government, but they're using the Tiananmen Square massacre.
Which happened just 2 years prior in the movie?
3, but...
And Jake Lowe, who's a well-known Tiananmen Square survivor, he is having a cry kind of by the tree of woe because he's reconciling with memories of a man.
Well, wait, and his girlfriend getting squished, right?
Oh, that was his girlfriend?
I don't know. I kind of think
maybe
it was his girlfriend.
Maybe it was his dad's girlfriend.
Maybe it was his mom.
Because he ran over there and Brandon Lee didn't do anything.
She's got like a platform on her and she's laying in a pool of blood. Just a whole big-ass pool.
Mm-hmm.
The water was still. And so was she.
Being only able to remain alive for a few brief moments because the scaffolding is keeping her guts and blood in.
Yep.
Like in Signs.
Or that episode of ER.
Yeah.
Was that ER? Was it? I think it might have been Law and Order.
Oh,
the guy gets cut by the train and the train stays still. And as soon as they move the train, his guts are going to fall and he's going to die. His blood pressure will drop. But for the time being, he can call people and say goodbye.
Yeah.
I think it's Law and Order. Seems like it'd be ER.
Law and Order wouldn't spend time with guys like that.
I think somebody pushed him in front of the train.
Jules couldn't find it.
Go ahead and let us know at 763-634-1897.
And so then the guy that you say is his dad falls and a tank runs him over. And we just see him get squished.
No, you don't. He falls over for no reason that we can tell.
The ground was shaking, maybe?
Maybe. Is that a callback to Kung Fu? The tanks behind him aren't aimed at him.
Mm-hmm.
Like the treads are going off to the side.
Yeah.
And we're just supposed to believe that they somehow squished him.
Yeah, you can tell that there was no way whoever was on set was going to allow that guy to get any closer to that tank. So even when you see it, just the tank tread wheels isolated, because you know how close the guy is, you feel that he's like behind you almost. You're like, nothing's happening here. What the hell? Put a dummy down there, get a mannequin.
Pretty stupid.
So then this other guy who has a headband on is like, hey, Jake, Lowe, snap out of it. We need you to help us do our thing. And he goes, I don't fuck with politics.
Come on, you're the Jake Lowe. No, man, being political back in China gets you killed.
Yep.
I got no interest in this.
I'm in California now. I got a leather jacket on, and I ride a motorcycle.
Got my toes in the sand.
You know, when I fire, although I don't, but when I do, it's rapid. Exactly. So he fucks off, goes to his class where he draws nude women. We see a little side boob, and the feather-haired model. Everybody else leaves the class except Jake. So she comes over to him like, hey, man.
I notice you're touching yourself over here.
It's very inappropriate. But let me see what you've done. Let me see your...
Give me that picture.
Let me see your picture. And we see the picture. It's her. For some reason, there's a dragon behind her. And then we cut back to her, and she's like, oh, I love it. And they cut back to the picture, and it's closer to the picture now. And it's like completely done.
It's gone from 70% completed to 110.
Like a blurry chalk approximation to like a fully inked comic book page. The scales are in it now and shit.
Nobody's paying attention to this at all. You have both of the pictures. Why,
yes.
Why don't you use one or the other?
Did they lose the first one, or they were like, shit?
And to be clear, he's no longer dry. He didn't just take 3 seconds to improve the picture 40%.
No, he had pencils down. And so she's like, I love it. And he goes, yeah, take it. You know, and she goes, would you like to go out with me?
Sure.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't care. Like, I already gave you a picture. What do you want from me?
I saw your tits, whatever. I don't even care anymore.
Exactly. So he drives his motorbike to this big gallery in a old shipping house, warehouse thing, or fish factory or something.
It's like the warehouse district repurposed.
Yeah, it's renovated inside. He goes, hey, is this your place? You own this? And she goes, no.
But it's also like apparently the headquarters for the drug dealer. But we're getting there.
Yeah. She goes, no, I don't own this. It's being lent to us by a businessman. And then the Asian guy who's the local distributor for the guy who's in Thailand, who now is also in LA, we find out, is the guy, I guess, that owns the building and rented it to her. Brandon already seems to know that he's no good. Kind of gives him a weird reaction.
Yeah, Chinese businessman. I don't like the sound of that.
It also turns out the nude model is the girlfriend of the guy who wanted Jake Lowe to speak.
It was a hustle.
It was.
He got tricked.
Now that he's there, you know, they want him to tell that one story he has so that the donor checks will just start flowing.
It was a booby lure.
Yeah. He goes, fuck this shit. I ain't doing that.
Fuck all y'all. I'm out of here.
I'm out of here. You know, that's coming. And then but we see upstairs that Serrano is there threatening the second in charge of the drug thing and shoots him. Fuck this guy. And he blasts him.
Well, the guy does throw a knife at him horribly and misses him.
I guess.
He's like, I'm taking over your business. Give me your shipping manifests. I'm in charge now.
Yeah.
No! Fling!
Right.
How dare you?
You fucker. And so the guy goes flying out the window of the office, and Brandon Lee looks up, and he's really giving it a good squint.
There's a gunshot. That guy fell out of that window. I'm going to look in the broken area.
Yeah. It's like when you're at a restaurant and the menu's too far behind the counter. Yeah. What does it say? Barbecue burger?
Oh, there's the guy's face that did the shooting. I'm going to keep staring. My expression's not going to change.
Yep.
And, I've been looking long enough. The guy's decided he has to kill me.
So, you know, yeah, he's saying, kill that Chinese guy. And I think he was starting to drop racial slurs at this point. And then all of a sudden, the henchmen for the guy, though, they come out and they start shooting, just unloading on the walls and shooting at all the windows. And Serrano's guys start shooting them, and they make it outside somehow. And Brandon Lee fights some guys a little bit. He gets outside, gets on his motorbike. Serrano pulls up, and they're like, hey. And he goes, oh, shoot, I can't go up that way. I'm going to drive through the building instead. And this is when we get the homage to Jackie Chan, where Brandon Lee crashes his motorbike into a guy and then crashes that guy through a very long glass installation of some sort. In the Jackie Chan movie, it's a mall, and that's a display case. I don't know what it is in here.
Same thing.
And then he drives out through a window, falls, crashes, and then the cops show up and they freeze.
Right as he's bleeding out, right? From all the glass he drove through.
Clearly, there's no gun here, but he's the guy. And, you know, there's like 20 cop cars. Like, nobody's probably had the chance to call 911 yet.
It's true.
Because you got to find a landline.
And are people really going to be paying attention to gunshots in the industrial district?
Absolutely not.
No. That's just what happens over there.
Right. So they arrest his ass, take him to jail, and there's like 25 detectives now in the room with him. Justified's dad comes in. He's a CIA guy or FBI guy.
Yeah, I think probably FBI.
And they go, this is a local shooting spree. What the hell are the feds doing here? And he goes, well, we've been trying to get Serrano, and now he's going to walk in 3 days. But this kid, because he drew, I see the sketch he drew. He witnessed the murder and can finger him.
Yeah.
Let's put his ass on trial.
Serrano must have taken this awful personal. I'll bet he hasn't pulled the trigger himself in 15 years. And you, my friend, were there to see it. You are a prize witness.
Look, all I wanted to do was clear myself. If I'm not under arrest, then I'm going home.
Serrano's not really an Italian name.
No, it's the name of a pepper.
Yes.
Of some sort.
It's a spicy one.
It's a spicy pepper.
I like jalapenos. I have a hard time with Serranos.
Yeah, depends. I'm okay with heat, but I prefer it to be like just at the doorstep of, oh, that's really hot.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like uncomfortable about it. I was uncomfortable about it. I got some curry in Eau Claire. Whew, that shit. It tastes so good though, so I forced myself to continue to eat it. But man, it was lighting me up.
Yeah.
People at the restaurant are probably like, God damn, that guy is in bad shape.
So they're in the interrogation room.
Yeah, and they're like, all right, you're going to, help us do this. And he goes, well, what's in there for me? And they're like, well, if you don't, we're going to jam you up, basically. And he goes, this is blackmail. And the guy goes,
It's law enforcement.
Well, and prior to that, they're like yelling at him to look at the sketchbooks. Or no, to look at the mug shots. And he's like, He's not in there. Because he's drawing a picture. And it's so perfect that Justified's like, oh, shit, it's Serrano. We did it.
Well, and yeah, even though a lot of these guys allegedly have been after Serrano for like almost a decade, nobody's been able to capture him on film.
And then later on, all of the police at the jail seem to know him and say, welcome back, as though he's been in and out of jail constantly.
Yeah, it's hard to gauge, does he just have the police force almost entirely on the payroll? Because they're all like willing to kill other cop guards to free him.
Yeah.
So shit. So he goes, all right, yeah, I'll help you or whatever. Okay, but we got to go to Chicago now.
Let's go hang out. We got you a cool apartment.
It's super hot. We're all sweaty.
Yep.
It's like 5 of us here. The main FBI guy skedaddles, but he gave him a phone number to call, which I think he just tore off of like a notepad. It wasn't like his business card.
He just wrote his number several times on the notepad, and he just rips them off as he needs them.
Yeah, he had a check mark box. Would you go out with me? Yes, no. And so, but then it becomes apparent that the 2 cops or agents that are already there, when Brandon gets up there with the guy that was the close partner of the FBI guy or whatever, they're bad, and they kill the FBI guy and they try to kill Brandon Lee.
So who else is testifying against this guy? Nobody's going to testify against Serrano.
Especially you, Jake.
But he just keeps kicking doors into their noses and punching them.
Cabinets and such. He's jumping through kitchen nooks. Trains keep going by. Now, it's an elevated train there. They call it the L. But they look like Amtrak trains. I don't know if for a while there they were doing the same similar paint striping, but kind of seems like they should have just gotten the regular trains if it was an Amtrak, because that doesn't make sense. But so he eventually gets out and grabs a gun, which he probably shouldn't have done.
We kept remarking upon, it's a good thing he didn't touch any of those guns and get his prints on them so they don't pin any of these murders on him.
Because he even has it later when he's going to meet the FBI guy. But he doesn't, I guess he does kind of use it after he grabs whatever. So he jumps out, and this lady who's a cop with Powers Booth. So Powers Booth, we didn't touch on him. He's a local Chicago detective who's trying to break up this drug thing, but he's illegally wiretapping, listening to conversations. So none of the evidence
FBI.
On the FBI, yeah. So none of the evidence he's getting, it seems like he's able to use, because he's apparently not even on this case. I don't know.
I think you get in a lot of trouble for illegal wiretappings.
Oh, absolutely. That's like Justice Department level shit. But he's able to figure out, that the FBI guy is bad, and that he's going to trick Brandon Lee to meet him so that Tony Longo and a couple other guys can shoot him.
It's like 12 guys.
Yeah, and it's really stupid. So he shows up at this thing. It's like the middle of the night. It's a sort of a thing where it's like a fenced in area where you park cars or put boxes from a business or something. And then on the other side of the fence, there's a alley, and then there's like a sidewalk by the adjacent building and a phone booth for some reason. And so the guy comes walking up, and he's in the shadows. So we can't really see what he's saying, and I think they ADR'd the fuck out of this sequence. But Brandon comes up, and he goes, "Hey, kid, come over here."
Jake? Jake, is that you?
Jake Lowe?
Jake Lowe?
And he's like, "Yeah, it's me." But then all of a sudden, Powers Booth comes driving up for feels like a slightly too long amount of time.
And he says, "Hey, kid, come with me if you want to live."
Yeah, he gets out of the car. He goes, "Hey, come with me if you want to continue to live." But then the FBI guy is like, "What?
Why does Powers Booth sound like
the
that?
fuck's going on here?" Yeah.
Is he Greek? What do you got going on there?
Pulls out his gun. And he goes, "Hey, Powers Booth, freeze," or whatever. And he goes, "Hey," and he pulls out his gun. "Hey, I'm a cop."
This dickhead was any kind of real FBI man. 2 of his buddies dead, he'd off-jaw right himself.
And then all of a sudden, Tony Longo and all the guys come on. They start shooting, and Brandon's jumping through the garbage. And when he dives, we can see the gun tucked into his pants. Powers Booth is shooting guys. Everybody's shooting guys. And then all of a sudden, the guy comes up to Brandon in the garbage, and he grabs his gun. Brandon grabs that guy's gun. And then he has 2 guns, and he just shoots like 25 bullets into that guy.
Unloads both guns for no reason whatsoever, and has the most sad look of sorrow in his eyes.
And he just throws him on the ground. He's a litter bug.
I killed the people trying to kill me.
And eventually he gets into Powers Booth's car, and he cracks wise unnecessarily.
Name's Ryan, Lieutenant Mace Ryan.
Jake Lowe.
So tell me, Jake, are you having a bad day or what?
And we then go back to their headquarters, which is in a bowling alley that doesn't seem to function, but is a functioning bowling alley. It's not like you can't go in there. And we introduce ourselves to the rest of the squad. A different guy, a lady. She's pissed that Brandon Lee is there. You got to do this, by the book. And Powers Booth's like, "I'll do it anyway. I can," or whatever. Probably doesn't say that, but
any which way but loose.
Yeah. And so he's like, "Hey, Brandon Lee, basically, you got to do this, otherwise you're fucked." And he goes, "Fuck, all right.
I don't have to talk about Tiananmen Square, do I?"
Right. Well, we need some funds raised, so maybe. We never see that other guy again.
Especially since this is after 21 Jump Street.
Which guy?
The guy that tried to get him to speak, the headband, who was dating the mom.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, we never saw that lady either.
Yeah.
I guess why would you?
Why would you? Yeah. Right, yeah. And, fuck. So Powers Booth knows the FBI guy is bad.
Oh, then, they go to his house and
they go to his house. Yeah, and he goes, don't do anything. This isn't about revenge. Oh, yeah. I got you. Don't worry about it. Guy opens up the door. Hello? And Brandon Lee just, axe kicks him in the fucking face.
Man, that foot goes up so high. It's amazing.
Seems fake.
Yeah.
How high it goes. And then he throws the guy through like a fucking glass display case. And
his wife comes around the corner. We just got to talk, honey. No big deal.
This is what we do.
Yeah. Regular cop stuff.
Yeah. And so Powers Booth, he goes, "Hey, Brandon Lee, go wait outside." And he goes to the guy. He's like, "Your wife's fine. You don't want anything bad to happen to her, do you?" And he plays the tape. "I got you.
You don't want any powers in her booth, do you?"
In her caboose. And so he goes, "Look, Jack, I'm going to put a wire on you, and you're going to go talk to Serrano de Bergerac, and we're going to nab him. It's a key phrase, pleasure doing business with you. Yeah. When you say it, we'll burst in. Take Brandon as bait or whatever." So they get there, and Serrano puts on his one glove because he's a germ freak. It's alluded to, but never really specifically said.
What? I don't know.
Yeah.
When was it ever alluded to other than the glove thing?
Well, when Tony Longo, he goes, "Hey, it's the FBI guy," and he only wants to talk to you.
He wipes off the phone, too.
Right, but then not only that, but after he puts on his glove and he's punching Brandon Lee in the stomach, the FBI guy grabs his coat arm in the coat sleeve, and he goes, "Hey, I got to get out of here." And he looks down like, "How dare you?"
But then he also is biting his gloves, which is where all the germs would be.
Yeah, you punched him, and now you're putting his punch residue in your mouth.
Yep.
Silly. So he goes, "Hey, Serrano, I got another deal for you." I don't remember what it is.
The FBI knows about your drug shipment.
Oh, right.
I want 100,000?
Yeah, they're talking about raiding the guy's factory. I want 100 grand because he just gave him 25 grand this time.
Did they specify? Oh, they did specify 25 grand. That looked like a lot more than 25 grand.
It did, to be fair.
We know money.
Yeah.
We are always rolling around with briefcases full of
money.
So
he hugs the guy, the FBI guy, Serrano does, and he, at some point, although I thought they were bandying about the $100,000 amount, I guess he says, you know what, I'm going to do it for free.
Just one thing, eh? You guarantee no cops, no feds, and I give you nothing. No $100,000, zip. You do it as a favor for me.
Serrano goes, and his microphone goes out because they hugged, so the cops can't hear what's going on.
Shit! What's the matter?
We lost Stuart's mic.
Serrano goes,
Why'd you say you do it for free, Frank? You know, the only time a man doesn't want any money
and they're a rat.
is when he wants something else.
Right. And he goes, hey, pleasure doing business with you.
Pleasure doing business with you. Pleasure doing business with you.
Like he's the robot from Total Recall, the lady head. And he goes,
What does the lady head say in that?
I can't remember, but she keeps repeating it. And like,
I am a lady head. I am a lady head.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's inside of me.
All he wants to do is get out of here in one piece.
And so then he shoots that guy.
Oh, Tony!
The cops outside are like, oh shit. And then they just start shooting walls and windows. The guys are shooting out at them because they can see them. They have blinds. And he goes, hey, stand up, Brandon Lee over there. I'm going to kill him.
I'm going to stick this gun up your butthole and unload the clip.
Like a man.
Yeah. That's how you're going to die, rapid boy.
Like my dad in Vietnam. But Brandon Lee manages to fight, I guess, and get free. And then he fights a couple more dudes. The guys are all just shooting out the windows, but Brandon Lee's just, in the dining area fighting guys. They bring out a huge gun. They start just shooting the fuck out of the cops.
So crazy. This old man starts wheeling this thing down a hall. And you're like, what's going on here?
Yep.
It's a fucking giant automatic Gatling gun, aircraft
Double barrel.
artillery monster gun.
Yeah, chain fed. It's no joke. And the lady goes, Powers Booth, Mace Ryan. I remembered his name. Brandon Lee hadn't come out yet.
I know, goddammit, what the fuck do you want me to do about it?
Brandon Lee is kicking on dudes, and eventually he kicks his way to Serrano. He goes, hey, no respect. He's training his tie. I'll give you $100K to let me go, man. No, I can't do it. Well, what the hell? And he kicks him, punches him several times in the face. And then at this point, because there's no more shooting, the cops realize that it's probably over. And Brandon Lee brings out Serrano and he delivers him to Powers Booth.
Because Brandon Lee grabbed an automatic weapon and shot a bunch of the guys that were shooting out at the cops.
Yeah, in the back.
Including that old man firing the Gatling gun thing.
Mm-hmm.
And what I was saying while we were watching it was, why do you have this monster gun? Like, if you're firing at the police...
Mm-hmm.
They aren't just going to leave you alone if you kill them all. More will come.
Yeah.
Why do you have this giant gun? This isn't like the 40s when you're like rum runners.
Well, and not only that, and you had touched on this, when they are blowing the cops away, send in the B team. And they drive up in their bread delivery truck, like right into the line of fire.
Like, why would you do that? You never would. You would know where the line of fire was.
And they start getting shot.
Yeah.
It's one thing if you're doing it to like block, because it's pinned down, whatever, but then they just get out and get shot. So, the movie appears to be on a fast track to being over. Serrano's down. What are we going to do? Powers Booth goes, hey, I sent that tape to the FBI or somewhere. You're completely cleared.
And the lady cop's like, hey, come over to my house. I want to press my tits into you.
Mm-hmm. We're going to listen to Oingo Boingo.
Yeah.
So he does somehow end up at her house.
And she does press her tits into him.
She does. They kiss. They talk about his father.
Oh, yeah.
He's dead.
She got him the file.
She got him the file, but he didn't like the file because it had words in it and he had to read it.
Did they clarify? Did you catch what his beef was with the file?
I don't, but she goes, I read the file. So that led me to believe that he didn't. He just looked at it and was like, I don't care, or something. I think she said your dad did something. He chose to do something.
He thought he was doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
He was fighting the power.
Yeah.
Are you fighting the power?
Are you? I mean, kind of are.
And she shot him.
She did. A look. So all of a sudden they just start kissing and making out. It turns into a steamy Whitesnake video. And there's like sensual music kind of playing.
Oh, yeah. She's kissing his abs.
Super. Kissing his abs.
And they're cutting other things.
But they're intersplicing it with the cops raiding the laundry bin shop.
Just like in Cuffs.
Yeah. Or what's that show called that everybody liked?
The Wire?
Breaking Bad.
Oh.
So there's no drugs. It's just sheets. Fuck her, And we see her breasts, which I don't think were her breasts.
Jules thinks it's a body double.
Pretty sure it was. He's pulling off her shirt. At the time we see the breasts, it's on her face area. And then later when they wake up, because Powers Booth comes to her house the next day drunk or tired.
Do you think he's drunk?
I mean, he seems a little out of it.
Yeah.
You know,
I think he's just upset.
Maybe. God damn it.
Drunk would be a really good character trait, though. Like, this guy's got problems.
Yeah, she slings on a robe, and he's just ripping into her with his problems. Brandon's in the back, listening. Rude. You know, he goes, oh, you know what? I love that boy. I want to play catch with him.
Well, why don't you tell him that? He could use hearing those words from you.
No.
New Papa?
I can never share that with my son. He must never know.
Remember when he's like, I can smell the heroin there, I just couldn't find it?
I know it's there, I can smell it.
Can't smell Brandon Lee half a room over, hiding behind a wall?
Yeah, like right there.
They've been fucking all night and haven't showered yet.
Mm-hmm. There's Santorum everywhere all over the place. So he leaves. And then...
I mean, do they devise the plan to go... Yeah. Oh, wait, is the jailbreak coming up?
Oh, of course.
That's next?
Serrano is in jail. The guy's like, hey, sir, you know, we kept the radio on your favorite channel since the last time you were here. And this is where they kill him. Bad cops start killing bad cops to get in to throw ninja stars at Serrano.
He's not a bad cop. He's a bad guy that goes in there in a fake
Well,
cop
but he's dressed like a cop.
Yeah.
Dressing like a cop is effectively being a cop.
Okay.
So he's a bad cop.
He basically, like, ice picks that fucking cop to death. That's like, oh, who's coming here?
I'm chomping on the butt of a really big cigar.
He stabbed the fuck out of him, like, a lot of times.
It looked like he used, like, a wooden stake, too. It wasn't even, like, a traditional...
Was this a vampire movie?
Secretly, it's played.
Shit.
He's threatening Serrano with a throwing star, which I'm going to go out on a limb and make myself sound terrible. But isn't it like a Japanese thing?
Oh, I don't know.
Ninja?
My immediate thought was, well, that's not a great weapon to kill somebody that's in a cage.
No. I would use it to, like, stab him.
He's just got one, too.
Mm-hmm.
He's just holding up one.
But then when we see Serrano dead, there's also 2 knives in him.
Yeah.
So maybe he was also Tintin, hard to say.
Oh,
and
in alphabetical order. I've never understood that line in that movie.
Oh, really?
The organs are in alphabetical order?
Well, and not only that, but, like, you can tell just by looking at it which knives are fresher, because...
Right, that's the
they're
thing.
They're in all of his organs, sure.
Are the knives labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? It's just knives and organs.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The knives in him.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Boy, so he's dead now, and Powers Booth is really upset. Looking at the cast list, I really did assume Powers Booth would be the bad cop.
I'm glad he wasn't. It was nice to see him not be a piece of shit.
Yep. He subverted our expectations.
I don't feel like he was really in anything I liked ever.
I keep thinking, oh, you know what? Because he is the bad guy in Sudden Death.
Okay.
The Jean-Claude movie. But I keep thinking he's...
Zamboni killer.
So he's pissed, right? And he goes to Brandon Lee, hey, buddy, I need you to go undercover to this dope laundry place to help me, put an end to this. Because this movie really is hitting you with a surprise kind of third act here.
Yeah, I didn't want it.
No, and we don't ever really see then thereafter him and the lady really sharing anything between them. They're practically husband and wife at this point. They made love, It's a commitment. And so it's really dumb. So Brandon Lee is putting on a disguise of some sort.
Is it a Vanilla Sky reference? Your body makes a promise?
No.
Okay.
I've never seen that movie.
No, it's what Cameron Diaz says when Tom Cruise comes in her. Like, when you come at somebody, your body makes a promise.
Oh, God.
You know that when you sleep with someone, your body makes a promise whether you do or not.
God, I might be misremembering.
Why would you say that to somebody?
Well, because he fucked her and ditched her.
Well, sure, but it wasn't right when he came in her.
No, it's like
later.
A week later when she confronts him.
I was thinking like he just dropped the bad news on her. And
no, she tries to kill him. She crashes that car and mangles him, and he gets that.
Well, of course he's going to not want to be with you if you try to kill him. Jeez. So, he's putting on glasses and a do-rag.
Yeah, a do-rag looked crazy.
And he's going undercover.
Oh, that's nice. The beer poured on my pants.
Oh, yeah. It's just Powers Booth and Carla Withers.
Great idea. Let's infiltrate the giant drug dealer, drug den in town with 2 cops, 1 guy.
Yeah, and they're in 2 different cars, too, so they're extremely vulnerable. Carla gets nabbed. Powers Booth get nabbed. Brandon Lee doesn't know what's going on.
Is this a good time to reveal that Jenny didn't think Brandon Lee was particularly attractive.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
She was expecting more. No, she told me when we were outside smoking.
Oh, good, because if she would have said that when I was in the room.
You fuck her up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I was close. I felt my hand starting to rise in a fist.
You're putting on that single glove.
I put it away.
Yeah.
I said, babe, you should have seen him in Laser Mission with his glasses on.
And his lithe body.
Looking good.
He figures out there's cocaine there, or heroin, but it's in the sheets, he says. Like an Isley Brothers song or something.
They're starching the sheets with heroin.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think that works that way.
I don't either. It's like in Cheech and Chong Up in Smoke, where they're like, they sprayed the van with weed because they can somehow make weed into a sprayed polymer or something.
Yeah.
Stacy Keach. But it's too late because the cops are nabbed, and he sees that the cops are nabbed. The Asian Tony Longo pulls out rope and ties them up, and the main bad guy now, he's like, oh, Powers Booth. We were like Sherlock and Moriarty. You broke my heart. And he goes, dude, I'm a cop. You're an idiot.
I got SWAT teams all over the place.
That
they're
too.
in the air. They're in the vents.
Oh, Mr. Chase Ryan, if that were the case.
They're wearing invisible outfits.
Mm-hmm.
They're surrounding you.
Oh, shit, I believe that.
Yeah.
We gotta get out of here.
Get these ropes off of me.
So they just start setting stuff on fire.
They're burning the drug sheets.
Burn that basket there, and burn that box over there, you know. And Brandon Lee comes in, and wow, and he frees everybody, and they fight a bit. Powers Booth gets shot several times.
Yeah.
While running at a guy who's pointing a gun at him.
Yep, that's the move.
I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. He was running at him, and the guy was pointing a gun at him. What? What? That's not how movies work. No. So he's like, go on, you two lovebirds, and stop whatever his name is. I'll be all right. And she goes, no, I can't. Get out of here. And he gives her his gun, and they go after them. And this is where Brandon Lee gets his ass beat by Al Long, who...
His facial hair is gross. It's like one of those, you know, those dogs that have that weird facial hair kind of thing around there? Maybe a Scotty dog.
Yeah.
Pretty gross. At one point, his like lips were really pursed, and I was like, it's not a good look, dude. Just shave off just a little bit of that so it doesn't make this lip cave.
You don't need it.
Yeah.
You got so much wispy hair on your head.
Too much lip cave.
And throughout this movie, Pepsi's everywhere. At the party.
It's the taste. Is that their catchphrase? Pepsi. It's the taste.
It's rapid.
Pepsi. Rapid bubbles firing into your mouth.
Yep.
Caramel color.
But then people kept getting confused. Did it say rabid bubbles foaming in your mouth?
Oh, God, no.
Oh, $1 million campaign.
You don't come back from rabies.
So, boy, they're doing fighting. Stuff's on fire. Carla Withers is running around, I think. And the main bad guy runs away with a big suitcase.
Yep. Is there money in there?
Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't actually see what was in the case.
I didn't either. Maybe it's his heroin formula.
Important formula.
Well, what do you got in there? Crackers.
Yeah. And so he runs, he jumps onto a train track. Brandon goes after him, and he's like, who are you?
Are you a cop?
What is your beef? You know?
He doesn't say anything.
No, he's stoic. And they fight, and they're using weird poles with hooks on the end. I don't know where they got that from.
Those are at every train station, bro.
That's how they get the mail bags.
Yep.
When they drive by.
Or if people are on stage for too long.
And so he ends up making sure that the bad guy gets electrocuted on the train tracks. I thought because the train's, what do they call that? Bearing down on them?
Oh, sure.
I think it's bearing down on. Well, no.
Correctamundo.
So the dude's holding the pole on Brandon Lee, but he's on the track. So it's like, it's going to, at the very least, rip off your arms if that train comes, you know? So he's getting electrocuted. He's doing like the, electric slide. I thought the train then was going to hit him, but it didn't. And eventually he just falls down, but then gets up immediately and another train hits him.
It's been thoroughly electrocuted by the third rail.
Yeah.
Gets up, no problem, smashed by a train.
Yeah, that the level of electricity in there, I think it's like an instantaneous death.
I would imagine.
It's just, but because he's locked in, it also would just hold him there until he was somehow forcefully dislodged from his position.
Right.
You certainly wouldn't get up.
Fire cooks off and tips over.
Your hands are burned.
Your muscles are no longer exist, so your body can just fall over.
Yeah, but he's dead now because that train killed him. And Powers Booth is alive.
But Brandon has to go in and save him.
He does.
He's in that cocaine fire.
There's a fire.
Heroin fire.
Yeah, and they all get in.
He'd be sleeping if he's in that heroin fire. He'd be sleeping.
It wouldn't be good.
No.
I don't know how bad it would be. Because because I think we had talked about this for
Smoking heroin?
Yeah, where you can OD on snorting it.
And shooting it.
And definitely shooting it.
But we think
apparently,
smoking it?
Yeah, I don't know if you can actually overdose on smoke.
And we never verified this, and here we go again saying it.
Yeah.
Listeners, can you go out there, can you try to smoke an ungodly amount of heroin and see what happens? And if you're fine, let us know.
Don't let us know about any of it. Don't get us involved with your shit. The movie's over.
Yep. Wait, no.
They go to the ambulance.
Yeah.
And then the movie's over.
But then Powers Booth is like, I'll love you. You're the son I never had. And Brandon Lee's like, thanks, Dad. And then his girlfriend's like, let's ride in the ambulance with Dad.
Yeah, and they all like spoon.
We are family. Hey, hey, hey.
Rapid fire, folks.
Oh, boy. You like this movie?
I didn't.
Nah, it's not good.
It looks cheap.
Uh-huh.
The cinematography and some of the camera move are just dreadful. It's, you know what? It's just a throwaway, like Steven Seagal type script.
It's not even that good, I would say.
Mobsters, Chinese guys, heroin, running.
There's a couple okay action sequences.
I think he was involved to some extent with some of the staging of the fighting in Laser Mission, but he also wanted to shy away from martial arts because he didn't want to be compared to his father. So he's starting to embrace his martial arts lineage, his legacy of rage.
Damn.
And he's doing a little bit of that Jeet in here. Some slap boxing too, which is why I also kind of felt like this is a Steven Seagal type movie. But the the fighting is okay. The shooting is dumb, very dumb.
I want more death.
In fact, there's more shooting, I would say, in here than fighting. And they were like, no, we don't want John Woo. What? He's all about that shooting. Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I didn't really think anybody was super great. Powers Booth was fine.
I think Powers
probably
Booth
the best.
Yeah.
You know, he's playing the part, but he's got that fire that I think helps elevate the material a little bit. Brandon Lee is like a no-show here. You know, it's like charisma is every time you see an interview, like with The Crow, which I won't get into because we'll get into that later. But every time there's an interview, everybody always like, oh, he's so charismatic. You know, like I could just feel the electricity of this guy. And then they do this movie?
No thanks.
No, not at all. Didn't understand things and it made me confused about life.
Yeah, it was not the extravaganza I expected. It was not a ton of fun.
No.
Little Tokyo seemed like kind of a slight movie.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit better than this one.
And considering it was like reshaped in the editing process to become like a buddy comedy more than anything, fared fairly well. But yeah, this man, I don't know. Nothing in it is great. I liked the lady cop, and I thought she was quite attractive also. I liked her eyebrows. She got big bushy eyebrows.
Okay.
You know, I don't know. What do you get this?
5.5.
The movie?
Yeah.
I guess I'd go with a 5, to be honest. But
it was watchable, but like didn't feel good to watch it.
Yeah, I'll never watch this again.
No.
You know, I kind of regret owning it.
Oh, you bought it?
Yeah.
VHS or DVD?
VHS. I think I did.
What do you get Brandon?
A 4.5.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well,
I'd give him like a 6.
It's hard to say. His acting, I'd give a 4.5. But the increase in martial arts, yeah, that'll bump it up a little bit.
I thought he was like not really there, but he was fine.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the movie.
You think it was just the lines weren't there?
I don't know. It's devoid of charm. I guess they didn't really give him good lines. They had that one or two bad jokes.
Yeah, because he is cracking wise and he is snarky, but it feels like he's always out of his depth, which I guess is, you know, the point of the character, but kind of does it a disservice. So that's it, you know, rapid fire. Boy, I was really hoping for something.
You thought it was going to rock your socks.
I thought the more we get along in this filmography, yeah, the better it gets.
Laser Mission. That's where it's at, bro. Well, you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Reddit, YouTube. We Doing Filmographies. Send us an email, wedoingfilmographies@gmail.com.
Yep.
Find us on Twitter at Do Filmographies. Give us a call on the hotline. We say, oh, but we have a hotline.
Yeah, there's a little hotline.
763-634-1897. We're also proud members of the Now Playing Network.
Yeah.
At nowplayingnetwork.net.
Yep. You can check out podcasts there about movies and music and
Heck yeah. Do you have a vinyl emergency?
Mm-hmm.
Do you like movie madness?
Mm-hmm.
Is there Tracks of the Damned?
The damn right is.
I think you are correct.
Yeah.
All of those things and the Directors Club.
And us, apparently, also.
Head over to nowplayingnetwork.net. Yeah, all right. We'll see you next week with The Crow.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.